Siege, and Border in particular is a map where that really can flourish. So without further ado, let's head straight into the ban phase. Mindfreak starting out on attack, which gives Darksided the first attacker ban. What's it going to be? Lock in here with 13 seconds to go, not wasting any time whatsoever. Thatcher.
I'm not surprised. Monkey and I were talking about this last night. Thatcher has definitely been increasing, ban ability. Definitely see its ban rate as we move. So.
Yeah, well, we've had a couple of teams in particular that have really liked banning out the Thatcher. To name one would be Atletico, or now Orgless. And on the flip side, Mindfreak just getting rid of Montaigne, another operator which has really come into the meta and hence been banned quite a lot as well. Darksided have favoured it in the past. It looks like a fairly staple secondary ban on the defenders from Mindfreak with Mirror off the table. Now, Darksided's last ban. They start on the defense, of course, so they're going to have to live without an Echo.
Yeah, as you said, some very staple defender bans coming out here. I'm not really certain what I make of those attacker bans, though. Monty, but they're really scared of the armory mention here.
Archives is also a great way to push with a Monty, but I think in general it's just the Montaigne something that it's nice to just get off the table and know you don't have to deal with it. So, as we see this first lineup for the attackers, I'd say a lot of really important attacking operators have been left in. Your Ying, Blitz, some of these really heavy disruptive operators, and yet we're not seeing any of those just yet. No smokes either on the attacking lineup, which bit of a worry potentially. Looks like Mindfreak going for something a bit more staple, probably using a lot of vertical play with the Bok, the Ash. Not quite sure what the Twitch pick is for in an environment where the Mirror has been banned, and you already have the IQ to deal with a lot of the utility, such as cameras and goo mines. Nonetheless, I wonder how Warden will make use of those Twitch drones.
Yeah, definitely going to see how that comes out. Potentially trying to find a bandit or even just cameras, although they have IQ to find those black eyes. So realistically, he's taking out, Twitch is going to be taking out the mute cameras and taking out those ADSs. That's essentially what we have. I think maybe if they have to retake this fight, I think we might see that Twitch go down to the Capitan.
10 seconds to insertion.
As you can't stop the evil
5
eyes.
seconds to go.
Well, as for a defensive setup, the main rotations being made.
The area of operation.
There's really nothing crazy about this. If Styles going to go for a hole in these pockets. Managed to get his way up onto the stairs. Going to put a couple of shots down towards the stairs. Finding nothing as no one is out that door yet. This Bok is going to try and lift.
He stairs control, of course, important for the attacking side.
And they're going to start moving to main. It looks like they're trying to set up for a armory take, although they could potentially make their way back around. They're not feeling comfortable right now. This is the Mindfreak side. Present, that was just over the head. Styles.
Swapping back.
This hold inside of CCTV seems to be working well, and there you have it, the first frag going the way of Mindfreak.
Yeah, Warden picks up that kill, lands it on the beauty. Warden's down to the fly though. Spectre doing a lot of damage here. He has to fall back. Gonna lob a C4 by the sounds of it. Got caught, unfortunately. Gets shot down. Now he's without his C4.
Still this hold. Push into CCTV. The IQ making her way in. Still got a player or two to deal with inside, but some progress has been made for the defense. Sorry, for the attacking, with another frag going their way, but this could be an opportunity for Jack Daddy to step it up.
Jack Daddy, he's got one right next to him, and then finds him down, gets the kill credit as well. Shade being dropped. Impy Styles has found one in reply as well, so we've now tied up to a 3 versus 3.
Still Specker holding inside of Archives. Push likely going to be coming out, and here we have it. Wings making an entry, however he's shut down.
Ball up to Crescent now in a 1v2. He's going to wait in. Got a couple of flashbangs. He's still got 2 to deal with. ADS is going to catch the flashbang. He does see mine get thrown out. Someone on his left. But Ippy Styles down the hallway. Crescent gonna land one now in a 1v1. 15 seconds left.
Seconds to go.
ADS is burnt. Jack Daddy pushing his way out. He gets flashed. Crescent is going after the frag. He's hunting him. The pre-fire comes around. Mindfreak are going to take round number 1 there.
A good round for Mindfreak, and look at that. Despite having no heavy disruption and having no smokes either, they really did, pull through, won their gunfights, made a good entry.
Yeah, certainly did. Mindfreak going to be very, very happy getting the first round on their on the board for themselves.
Now, how do we expect that these bans will be affecting the defense now? No mirror, no echo. It's a lot of utility, a lot of heavy anchorage, and also a lot of intel gathering that really should be so useful to the defensive side. They're going to rely a lot more heavily on the Maestro and a lot more on mobile operators and intel gathered from those Valkyrie cameras.
Need to locate and defuse
yeah, certainly
work out from so far.
We're heading back to Armory. Wondering how we're actually going to, whether we're going to see a difference in setup here, or whether or not we're just being more of the same and hope that Darksided can do something a little different this time.
Facing my evil eye. Ballistic shield is up.
Styles still going to try and sit in this break room though.
10 seconds to insertion.
Worked well for him last time. Jack Daddy and support again, although I don't know how well it's actually going to happen.
Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers' objective is
Name Blackeye gets thrown out by Specker.
Defender has left the designated staging area.
Not that much. No way in. Macaroni Cam's gonna go on their support. Like this, Darksided. Trying to wait to find out where this attack is going to come from. Kings has been tagged up really heavily. One's going to make a dash across it, and it is Ippy Styles. A ton of damage. He has been downed. They're going to try and hold it. Whoa, Ippy Styles moves at just the wrong time. Going to get droned out though. Going to take it out.
I'm here, buddy. Relax.
Go. Like Wing going to try and deal with the shield, but Ippy Styles is in a very strong spot against the hallway still. Pushing. Finally, they just can't seem to commit to getting into the side here. Trying to burn any ADS. Nothing there, of course. Jack Daddy finds Shade. That's the first frag going over to Darksided. Things just calm down a little bit. No one is in that fountain area just yet, though.
There is that great rotate hole being utilized, and Specker, everything is positioned, perhaps will be his end, but Ippy Styles the one to go down. Wings making a good entry. However, Cutie has done some damage. Wings very low on HP, but he knows he needs to finish off Jack Dad, otherwise his team can't progress further. Still a minute remaining on the clock. Mindfreak in much less of a good position compared to the previous round.
Yeah, they're not in a strong position right now. Wings, he's still been tagged up. It looks like they're finally going to be able to open up this fountain, but no one's there. They're actually going to lose the thermite charge. That was not good. That evil eye from downtown took it out. Now they're going to have to push on 8.
Oh, Wings! You saw him, but you didn't find it, and looks like Jack Daddy's the one to make good on that. Specker, though, a good peek, and Cutie with the crossfire will finish off that round quite handily. So, reply to Mindfreak's first round. Dead set get in the game themselves.
Yeah. Darkseid are going to be very, very happy with that, as That is back leaving.
It's unfortunate. Looks like we'll have a quick rehost all the way into those heavily disruptive operators, and perhaps if they do struggle with the current operator lineups, I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a change.
Yeah, well, it is going to have to right now. And we are going to go into Mission Workshop. Correctly predict that. Fighting that Valkyrie again. Do you think the Valkyrie's given them much yet?
I mean, it's really hard to tell because we haven't necessarily been spectating all of the information being gathered on those cameras. But, I do think that it's important to keep bringing that Valkyrie, bring that intel, gathering operators when you lost out that Echo and that Mirror. That said, Shade just hard picking that IQ. It does make it a little bit more difficult for the defenders to necessarily guarantee the safety of those Valkyrie cameras deep into the ground once the IQ's been on a hunt for them.
Yeah, it certainly has, and exactly how they're planning on. I have to wait and see. But I don't think those Valkyrie cameras have done exactly too much for them just yet. They've had some interesting spots for them, but that intel I don't think has been as important as what we've seen so far. Castle barricades going down, very standard at the moment. Crazy just
5 seconds to insertion.
And so this top floor area being held with the assistance of mute jammers and castle barricades, quite like that. That said, Wings will probably deal with them very swiftly using that tried and true sledgehammer. Not something that's likely to lose reception.
Certainly not. That should have been his CTU buddy. Bit about how to deal with an electronics blackout.
So you have it. There's some wall denial as well, and obviously the Thatcher being banned out makes it a lot more difficult to get rid of those and start opening it up with the thermite. That said, Kings on the Maverick, not only a fantastic fragging operator, great gun, really is quite a nice weapon, the M4 in the hands of the Maverick, but also that utility, being able to get rid of well, any wall, really, without any contest whatsoever. It's high risk, but does do the job. That Valkyrie camera being spotted out very easily by Shade. Good communication to get that over to his teammates and take it down.
It certainly is, and Warden.
If only he knew.
Alright, the pre-fire's coming out, and just gonna miss. Get a single bullet onto him. Bit unfortunate, but that's the first frag coming out. If he Styles has found Wings, he's really loving the shield spot and sees.
That pixel angle has been treating him well so far and likely to continue to do so. Very difficult angle to contest, even with an ACOG. That said, Shade elsewhere does find the one kill. Specker, captain, off the board for Darksided, and I believe that may be CCTV control in the hands of Mindfreak as they begin to encircle on this downstairs bomb site. Still top floor control not established. That said, Shade gets the second kill, cutting off that rotation back from Armory, I believe. Unless that was above through the hatch.
Yeah. Now with the man advantage, Mindfreak looking to push through. They've opened the wall at the back of bathroom. But this is going to be their point of congestion. They still don't have control of that top floor though. See a fight after that, but Kings has something to say about it as he's going to land the headshot onto Ippy Styles.
Not too bad at all from Kings. That was a very tight angle that Style was holding, and now the heat's being turned up on these defenders. Downstairs, Darksided. Got a lot of time to waste and perhaps not a lot to do with it. Now, Cutie's still in a power position upstairs. Has that shotgun to make late rotates. Has a C4 as well. Jack Daddy, not so lucky. Just a mere castle 2-speed operator with a fairly weak weapon in the UMP. Cutie really has to be the one to make these plays. He spots out locations downstairs. Darksided have fallen. It's just Cutie remaining. Spotting out the player, but look, this is just not a great position. If he can deny this plant, though, that's something, but Cutie does not know where it is, and now he's being shot from all sides. Surely this is the end, and King sees to that.
Yep, Mindfreak, just a matter of securing that final kill. Cutie goes down. And a strong round from Mindfreak there. Again, though, they have a bit of a problem in that mid game where they just stall out a little bit. Darksided, fortunately, they're firefights, but I think Mindfreak, although they're winning the rounds, it's not as clean as what I think it from them.
Yeah, I think that from Darksided, it's just a really sporadic defense, spread out, not enough. I think that a lot of the time, once again, it was just about contesting these angles, even when there were fairly strong angles, such as the one Ippy Style had with the shield. You know, eventually, you're going to be droned out. You're going to lose those. And that's what happened. Mindfreak seemed to do very well when it comes to just locating where do we have to be, what positions do we have to utilize.
Yeah, and we've decided to go to customs this time by Darksided.
Not such a bad decision in my opinion. I think just, you know, 2 and move, or I guess in this case just 1 and move. If something's not working, just, you know, start moving along. Don't spend too much time hammering away at one bomb site if it's not going to work out for you. Of course, they did get armory right the second time around, but I think, judging by quick pick at their vents holds, I do think it just wasn't good enough, and I think that making the switch now, assuming they have a decent CCTV hold, definitely the right way to go.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, well, you're going to presume they're going to have a decent. Well, they feel confident enough to come to this bomb site. Becker across the way is armory. Ippy Style's going to give himself a long angle right now.
And once again, a pixel angle behind a shield seems to be Ippy Style's specialty.
You feel like maybe he should take an ACOG operator if he's playing like that?
Well, I would say yes, except for the fact that really it looks like Darksided are grabbing as much utility as they possibly can, and you know, Jaeger's utility is something you certainly can't abandon, especially if you are playing in those heavy anchoring positions, such as behind that deployable shield. You need to have those Magpie devices to catch any grenades coming your way.
Yeah, you certainly do, and the ADS, if nades are going to come their way, ADS is going to need to be placed very, very well to protect the key players. But close to head. Oh, he gets shots. Wings just a little bit too slow. Reply, Ippy Styles lands a fair bit of damage. He's getting twitched though.
Is this really the strat for Warden's Twitch drones? Simply to disrupt the enemy and cause a bit of a ruckus. Maybe not the best decision, but hey, if he can frag on him and make good use of these breaching charges, then it's perhaps not too much of a loss. As we can see 2 players pushing in downstairs. Oh, the drone spotting out the player, but still Cutie managed to dodge every single one of those bullets until a couple land, but not enough to do any serious damage. Specker also jumping into the fray, but he's been taken down. A well-hit barricade allows him safe passage.
Yeah, just getting out with a skin teeth. Cutie going to be really happy with that, as Becca is now pushed his way through. Cutie's going to land the first kill onto Wings.
Heartbeat sensor activated.
Ooh, look at all this great information, and Ippy Style's going to make good on that quite immediately. Just 3 players on the attack left, and Ippy Style in a very strong position. He's been very confident in his gunfight so far, even though he has occasionally lost some of these tight angles. You know, he's prepared to play aggressive if that's what his team needs, and looks like Darksided playing, you know, a bit half and half at the moment. They've got some of these long angles being utilized. Shaq, for example, inside of detention, not a common position. It almost loses the gunfight, but he does take down the thermite. Now Kings knows he has to make the play. He has an avenue into the bomb site, but it's just him and poor Warden left, and well, Warden does find Specker. However, 20 seconds remaining. A lot of work to be done.
Oh, through the wall. Warden's going to pick up Cutie, although you get downed. Ippy Styles finds the kill credit on the Kings. Leaves up to Warden on a slither with health. Jack Daddy formalizes it by putting a bullet in him. And around over to Darksided.
Great angle for Jack Dad as well, and look at that. Just taking out the feetsies. That's all you need to do, really, and, well, strong defense on the customs inspection bomb site, and it looks like you were right. Darksided did make the correct choice, returning, oh, sorry, I should say, experimenting and taking themselves over that bomb site. But now, we head over to the first and primary bomb site once again. It's been 2 rounds since Darksided won up here in Armory, and so they will return.
Yeah, they've done very, very well so far. Armory lockers Back and forth rounds, actually. Pretty solid. This match is living up to everything I think everyone wanted it to be. A bit of a grudge match going on. 6-pick sledge to sledge.
Yeah, we have been trading these rounds back and forth. Both of these teams very determined to take the win. And I think that we'll see something fairly similar on this bomb site to what we've seen twice already. The real question is, how effective will Mindfreak be in their roam clears, in their, I guess you could say, key position clears, clearing these key areas such as CCTV, where we see this setup being deployed by the defenders currently. Good bit of utility. It's just spaced out very evenly. A couple of goo mines, a couple of mute jammers, a couple of ADS devices.
10 seconds to go.
Specker also very keen to get these cameras outside.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, he's thrown one outside on this same spot every single round so far. Things barely gets his drone out alive.
Moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it. Defender
And
is
I wonder how
approaching a kill
quickly,
zone.
like, Spec's thrown that
Defender
cam
is
every
close.
single round. I wonder if it's actually been found. Like,
Well, you'd hope so with the
IQ
yeah.
becomes a staple.
Look at these very aggressive angles being taken by a lot of the dark-sided players. We can hear already some of the attackers experiencing the feeling of those goo mines in their leg. So far unfallen as of yet, but it's just East Stairs control thereafter for now. Still a lot of time passed and still struggling a bit. These mute jammers certainly a thorn in their side. Dark-sided banning out Thatcher, making that mute even more efficient and effective, I should say. Finally, East Stairs control taken though. Mindfreak wasted a bit of time. Oh, so very close. Grippy style. With a deployable shield here to help him out. Perhaps aware, yeah, this is his solution for when the mirror is banned. He uses the deployable shield and contests these long angles with the 416. Almost working for him.
Look, you ban a mirror, I'm going to improvise a mirror, right? Like, that's the iffy stuff. Going to improvise it, come up with his own engine. Hold those tight angles. Putting a lot of pre-fires down. Finding anything.
It's a bit of a gamble for a lot of these defenders peeking aggressively. You can see even Specker now into officers. However, he does win that gamble. Kings goes down.
I think he managed to get out through that vault hole as well. So, oh no, he's still up in the fountain. He's managed to down a second one. C4's going to come out. It's going to secure the kill. There we go, as Cutie's going to get himself Warden as well out on that AC vent. And now we're only left in a 2v5.
And they're both at the mercy of Specker playing here in Fountain. He's very confident this grenade will flush him out, and Crescent does finish him off. However, Cutie's in a playmaker position. All he needs to do is peek up over casually, take out 2 players. He's playing safe for now, and Jack Daddy finds one. Cutie does eventually see Crescent and pop his head.
Yeah, Darksided there take the round win. A very, very strong defense from them. We've seen the rounds that Darksided have won, they've been very solid in winning. Rounds that they've lost have been very close to Mindfreak, right? Like, Darksided's wins seem a lot more one-sided than what Mindfreak's do.
I've got to agree with you on that one. Darksided's 2 defense wins on that top floor have been fairly comfortable, and even that Customs defense, it really looked like Mindfreak were a bit of a loss. But it's Mindfreak's last chance on the attacking side. Of course, in this current meta, we do see far more defensive wins than attacking wins. So I think Darksided should be happy that they're racking up these wins on the defensive side. Perhaps Mindfreak, it's not too early to sweat it out here as they are on attack, but yeah, we'll have to switch over eventually. Looks like some of the players not having a great day. Wings still yet to find a frag.
Wings did have a frag before the rehost.
Oh, okay, of course. Did have a rehearse.
Yep. So, yeah, he did have a frag before the rehost. So they're not 100% set in stone. They're properly set up, but... Alright, we're going back to ventilation. It didn't go very well for Darksided before. The most, comfortable round. Mindfreak won. Gonna have to see how it goes for Darksided this time. It does look like Darksided might have woke up a little bit.
Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers are moving.
Here's that camera being thrown by Specker. Ooh, and he was spotted on the run out, but he did take out the drone coming back in. Now last time, this defense did fail, it was really on the fact that not enough of an impact was made on this upstairs bomb site, on this upstairs hold. Yes, they did find one frag, but they were traded. And once Mindfreak had taken that trade and pushed in downstairs, the last remaining player upstairs really didn't have enough ability to solo hole and have an impact through the vertical holes. So we'll see whether Mindfreak is prepared to have that same kind of push. Looks like we're going to have the Maverick trick, potentially. I've never seen this on a cast, so everyone now gets to see it. For those of you who are unaware, Maverick is a bit of a magician, and sometimes he makes these beautiful walls that have been coated in metal, mysteriously not coated in metal. And so as you can see on this wall, it's now completely unreinforced, if it has worked correctly at least. Looks like King's struggling a bit.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten it out just yet, I don't think. But no one there to really make use of it. Like, they don't have any way to actually destroy it. There we go, that worked this time.
There you go. So there you go. Maverick does his magic trick, and now a simple breaching charge will do the trick. The sledgehammer likely to be the culprit for that one. Shade does get aggressive and find an injure, but he's forced back in the wake of that goo mine. And now this wall being shredded to pieces. Not a vaultable hold really, as yet as I can see, and the Maverick being repaid in due turn, his life sacrificed for that wall. Now it be Style traded back as well by Warden. That's top floor control just about as Mindfreak finally establish it in 2 minutes.
Yeah, it be Styles, his life was forfeit. He was aware of that. He just had to delay time as much as he can and do as much damage to Mindfreak before he died. He does get picked off, but he's done a world of pain as it is a 3 versus 4, so definitely worth on his life. He managed to waste a lot of time as we are coming into the 45-second mark. And Specker looks like he's getting ready for a late flank, but Mindfreak...
Oh, they're aware of it. You can see that. 2 barrels pointed that direction. This is what's expected by Mindfreak. But 30 seconds, the onus is still on Mindfreak. They have the numbers disadvantage. Wing says no more to that.
Oh!
In fact, he does so twice over, takes down Cutie and Jack. That Specker decides this time he gets back to site, whereas Shaq decides, well, 2 players just isn't quite enough to peek from that side. Warden takes down Specker. Now it's all up to Shaq with the LMG, 60 rounds in the magazine, more than plenty, but can he find these 2 players? Can't even find the... Oh, actually, he does find the first one, but it's a trade directly. Warden securing that kill, covering his teammate. Crescent surely counting his lucky stars for his teammate doing his job even though he fell.
Yeah, and Mindfreak is going to end the half 3-3 with Darksider. That's a very, very strong half for the first game, first map here.
And if we do see a defensive favoured trend, then Mindfreak's certainly got to be happy with themselves, scoring an equal first attacking half. Now it looks like a very, very similar defense lineup. I believe the only switch up we've got is Warden on the smoke instead of... We had Jack Daddy playing Legion, but Shade will in fact be 6th picking, as is a bathroom teller's hold for the first defense. Not one taken very very commonly. In fact, probably the least predictable bomb site on this entire map of Border. So,
yeah,
I'm keen to see whether Mindfreak can make the most of that surprise.
This isn't the same level as Oregon's
Tower,
right? Like, this is what this is. Same level as Oregon's Tower. You take it as a troll, you take it as a G-strat. We'll have to see what MF can do.
Good rotation, and I mean a lot of this bomb sites, these unusual bomb sites, do hinge on the setup from the defense as well as any aggressive peaks and you know how much can you get in the face of the attacking side. Now with Thatcher banned, Darksided may have shot themselves in the foot as this triple wall upstairs in the office can be secured with those mute jammers. And aside from a Thatcher, the best way to deal with those mute jammers is by going below, but of course the bomb site is below, so it's going to be difficult to get yourself into there.
And if you get yourself into there, you don't need to deal with the mute jammers. So the whole thing's... And...
Mute or mute?
I see what you...
Hey, you set it up perfectly. Nonetheless, this top floor will be a pivotal part of the defense, and oh no, that Jaeger device is going to die. I'm sorry, mate. Poor Jaeger.
Needs to be way apart.
Oh, oh my gosh! It's a miracle the Jaeger device survived.
You guys know what they're doing, Dev.
They really do, clearly. More than I do, anyhow. Looks like a fairly spread out downstairs defense. This ACOG from Kings. Oh my gosh! That deployable shield certainly gives him a bit of a run for his money, but he does spot out that drone. Hasn't taken it out yet. Jack Daddy making the most of this information, no doubt, fairly shortly. But Shade's the one who wishes to aggress onto the passport. Beautiful headshot.
Yep. As you said, this aggression from Mindfreak needs to come out, and you can see them roaming everywhere. Things roaming around as a 1-speed right now with an ACOG. Slowly walking his way around the map, being a bit of a juggernaut, seeing what he can get. Becca going to potentially come into contact with Mindfreak players. Jammer. About it. Have to jump on over. Now he's going to spot him.
Spots out that mute. That's a great piece of information. Now Specker has Wings completely cornered off. However, Kings does find 1 kill. So everything falling apart for Dark-Sided, and still Crescent able to back up Wings. Specker may have cut off Wings, but of course someone has to do the job of actually flushing him out of there. It's going to be Cutie to do that. No mute jammer on this fountain wall, and Shade also falling to the hands of Shaq. Now Cutie and Specker together have completely cornered off Wings. The best he can hope for is to find one of these kills as Specker attempts a redrone. Surely Cutie will be peeking onto this any second. Wings has to find one of these kills to make the difference.
He just has to knock it anti
here.
Crescent! Crescent lands a beautiful headshot there onto Cutie. Specker's going to trade one back though, manages to take him out. And there comes, it comes Wings. He's managed to take his way out. That leaves it all up to Shaq right now. And he is going to pick up Kit, but with 30 seconds left, 3 enemies left to find. It's not looking good for him, Dev.
What a great position for the defense. Wings cleans it up. And there you have it, the unpredictable strategy, that unpredictable defense round. Going straight to Tellers, working out for Mindfreak. Perhaps it was a bit of a rough start on the attacking side, but really, can you blame them when no one really can attack these days? Mindfreak seem to be coming out on top so far in this match.
Yeah, they've definitely got the upper hand now, but as we said, we're trading back and forth right now. I have to see how they're going to act as customs.
Look at that, Mindfreak really have been preparing their strategies for the defensive side, and I think that's really what they're counting on winning, racking up a lot of defensive wins, not trading them back and forth as you had suggested. Now, could it potentially throw Dark-Sided off, a team which has historically been fairly strategy focused, fairly set in stone. They do have a clear idea of what they want to do, and then they work towards achieving that goal. And sometimes when you give them a goal that's a bit different, oh, here's a different bomb site, we have to plant the diffuser in a different location, we have to clear out different ground, that certainly can have an impact on how much time they take, which then makes the attacking side much less likely to be successful.
Yeah, it certainly does, doesn't it? Just
10 seconds to insertion.
I'm really interested to see how MF are going to do once they get back onto the standard bomb site, right? Like, so presuming they're going to win this. Really interested to see how they're going to do with standard bomb sites. Whether they're going to bring across something different. They're going to set up that bulletproof cam. That's good for them. No. Whole corridor is worth of him.
These ACOGs like to be cornerstone of the defense, relying on finding picks and contesting these angles that perhaps Dark-Sided are expecting to be fairly safe. As we see, Specker very comfortable in pushing this top floor. Well, I should say that, but really struggling with that camera. Perhaps aim just not quite on point today.
Yeah, trying to get that quick peek on the camera, it's not always the do, even though it's a stationary target. Yeah, he's going to find the drone though. He's getting cornered from like every which angle. He does have a hatch to drop, but rotations is slowly being cut off one of them.
Dark-Sided are waiting patiently. You can see Ippy style prone in this doorway, waiting for an aggressive peek, waiting to punish any Mindfreak players who attempt it, but Dark-Sided not likely to find any picks that way, and Style decides to take matters into his own hands. And oh, Shade goes back downstairs. Perfect timing too. A Doc who can now completely heal himself up. C4 finds nothing upstairs. But those hatches are fully solid.
Yeah, Warden's getting into a bit of a firefight. He's looting that. Find that smoke. You don't want to loot him first. And, you know, 5v5 still with half the round gone. We've seen a couple of firefights go either way. Shade is now out of stims. Or 3, 2 on himself, 1 on 1. Health advantage even across the board right now.
But these attackers are the ones who have to make the move. They do have a significant amount of ground, all that top floor control. That said, those hatches still being solid, or at least one of those hatches being solid, will put a thorn in their push. Now the downstairs defenders branching out, and, well, there's a pick through the floor, no less. Shade taking down Igby Style. Shaq looking to deal some damage on his own as Cutie opens up another avenue into the bomb site. And you can see how worried Darkside are about these flanks, as they should be, because of the so very well spread out defense from Mindfreak. Shade finds another kill, the Doc doing all the work, Specker on the floor. And now reviving, doing his job as the team medic, reviving his teammate.
That was good play by Shade. He's managed to find both kills so far. A cooked nade is going to get thrown, barely going to miss Kings. Kings is actually going to get out of dodge though. Way back into bathroom, and these shots are just not landing for Darkside. Wings finds himself one. That's Jack Daddy being taken off the board. Now into 2 versus 5. Cutie is going to reply, finally get it, but Crescent and Wings come out with a quick kill each. Mindfreak, they're pushing themselves even further forward now.
Certainly a good defensive half for Mindfreak thus far, 2 rounds into it, and already stealing their way ahead. No longer are we trading rounds.
Yeah, no longer are we trading rounds. 5-3. Mindfreak have made themselves a little bit of a lead at this point. Going back to ventilation, might see around the world, Dev.
Yeah, well, we haven't yet seen Armory, which is the most predictable bomb site. So I feel like if you're on the dark side of roster at the moment, you have to be thinking, predict the unpredictable, which is, you know,
we may have dark-sided, Dev, but Mindfreak are definitely the dark horse right now.
Looks to be the case, as once again, 2 ACOGs brought by the Mindfreak roster, and Ippy Style flexing onto the Ash, hoping to accomplish a bit more than he could on the IQ, now that he has that R4C in his hands.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good for him. He is really strong in that Jaeger, so it makes sense, you know. Maybe he's an Ash main too. Every rank star's green.
Yeah, so this top floor will be a point of heavy contest for the defensive side, as is typical for the ventilation and workshop bomb site. A lot of reinforcements being placed downstairs. It really did come into the meta to not reinforce the bathroom walls and instead make a rotation into the bathroom with a castle barricade on the bathroom itself, as if you're playing someone with a shotgun, such as a smoke, it's very, very comfortable to play inside of the bathroom. You can hold it for a very long time. That said, Mindfreak not opting to go with that, I should say, old meta strat. Instead, perhaps, I guess the meta goes in circles, doesn't it, really? Yeah. I mean, what's that? That's old meta now, but what we're seeing right now here with reinforcing, that's old meta. And so, it seems to be Mindfreak favoring these setups that's perhaps less predictable, which, in my opinion, is the perfect way to deal with Dark-Sided, as they occasionally lack some initiative when it comes to tackling obstacles that they aren't predicting.
Yeah, well, we saw, you know, just their first round on their attack here, very, very slow. They didn't quite know what they wanted. They didn't know what they wanted their objectives round to be. They couldn't execute.
Spec taking down that mute jammer, no Thatcher about, so he does so with his rifle. Ippy Style on the Ash with the R4C, already finding one, however he took a lot of damage for it. Specker also in a duel of his own. No shots successfully exchanged either way. Wings looking to find some. He spots out just the side of Jack Daddy on the IQ, and he's looking to take on Specker. He may have seen him inside of the fountain, and now Wings in a very uncomfortable position, but still so comfortable to be contesting these angles, and it looks like he'll do so again. Pre-firing left, right, and center.
Yeah, Wings being pushed from multiple angles. Specker's going to finally land that headshot, take him out. Now 3 versus 5 here in favor of Darksided. They might finally have something to have a round of their name on this attacking half. Warden, he's got the red dot on the SMG-11.
A bomb has been located.
Attachment is...
No, with the red dot, I mean, we're in a position where all the three sites, red dot, reflex, and hollow, not to mention ACOG, are regarded as, pretty equally viable. As for the one times, anyhow, just a lot of personal preference really comes into it, and most people tend to prefer the hollow or the reflex. When you don't have any breaching charges, so you end up shooting to the floor. Well, looks like Shaq needs Specker needs no breaching charges. Finds his second kill for the round. Shots ringing out from all the defender rifles. Oh, heavy style. That's a bad throw, but King's taking down Specker. Kings is the one who has to make all the difference now. 1 versus 4. This has to be an ace. That's 2 kills. 3 more to find. Oh, almost tags up another, but there's a long reload.
Yeah, it's a really long reload here. Now got 80 rounds to play with, but the defuser's been planted. Still got 3 people to find. Close to finding 1 here. There he goes, 6 to head. What a shot by Kings. Now he's got 2 left to find. Thermite and Capital, both at 100% health. Kings, 1 bullet from death. He's sneaking around. He's got a long angle. Outside though. Clock is ticking down.
Defenders have eyes on
seen this before,
attackers need to protect it.
but it's not going to be the case this time around. Kings not managing to accomplish what NV King accomplished earlier this week on the Maestro. And there you have it. Finally, Darksided do win one of their attack rounds and get 1 step closer to evening it up. That said, Mindfreak still 1 point ahead on their defensive half, and well, if finally they return to Armory Archives, as you said, going all the way around the world, if they can win on what's regarded to be the most viable bomb site on this map, then that's an easy draw at minimum for Mindfreak.
Yeah, although they're not going to be happy with a draw. Mindfreak, I believe, hasn't won a map yet. I think they have a cross them. Haven't won.
Certainly, I think that the call of victory is burning for Mindfreak. And I think that they'd be no happier than to take on Darksided on a map such as Border, a map so iconic. A victory here would certainly mean a lot to them, and start racking up some of those points that they so desperately need.
Very even kills across the board there. 3 members of Mindfreak on 6 and a 4th on 5 frags. So, team all pulling their weight. Definitely like no one getting carried here.
You can stop worrying about grenades now.
That's how I like to see it. Oh, King Cell's unfortunate.
10 seconds to go.
Now, top floor defense. Very, very same. You know, none of this Ying stuff, none of this, we do have smokes, I guess. Darksided bringing the Capital. But this is so staple, this is so textbook. And even more so than Darksided's defense, we see Mindfreak playing textbook with the simple fountain hold, no rotation being made into our hallway, no presence in CCTV. But they do have the smoke. Warden is a monster on that SMG-11, and those gas canisters can certainly delay a significant amount of time. Yeah, Mindfreak going with the tried and true strategies and coupling that with some strong individual play, and that's really the recipe for success for Mindfreak.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to be what Mindfreak's going to do. They've done a lot of solid work gating chaos. Kings is so close to seeing people peek here. Reaction speed's going to need to come point. Take it out. Shaq's just going to drone him out though.
His mute jam is disabled by the Viper strike from below, allowing the thermite charge to detonate on that external armory wall. Drones also finding their mark. That information being gained successfully. Over information as well from the defenders. Those Valkyrie cameras finding everything they need to. Jack Daddy really not doing his job on the IQ with the electronics detector.
Yeah, you know, you've got one job, and that's to find the Valk cam point. And I don't even know if he's honest, but really needs to find them, as they're getting all the information that we need right now.
Just a quiet time at the moment for Darksided as they mount their push onto this armory side. I'm sure they'd love to have a Montaigne right about now, but it's banned out by Mindfreak, forcing Darksided to be a little bit more creative. And more aggressive. Oh, I don't know if aggressive is the right word, but they can't play protectively.
Yeah.
They can't just brute force their way in there. They have to win these gunfights, and it really does come down sometimes to a lot of extra, tricks up their sleeve, and the utility coming out. But it's responded by the defenders. Will this gas canister detonate perfectly? No, Warden fails, and this looks like to be a successful plan for Darksided. It should not have allowed to be, but now we have a 5 versus 5 post-plant situation with Darksided in the advantage.
Yeah, Cutie here has got quite an angle. He's going to take out Wings, Quick as you like, It's Me Style, and Spectre both find one for themselves. Shade's going for a massive flank, but he gets shot in the back by Jack Daddy. Now it is all up to Kings again. We saw this last round. He finds one. He's got another 4 plus a diffuser to go. I don't like his chances. Jack Daddy going to take it out.
We're headed on to breakaway point. 5 to 5. One of these teams will guarantee themselves a draw in this next round. And with that successful attack from Darkseid, I've got to say, Mindfreak's chances for getting that win are looking far slimmer than previously.
Yeah, they've dropped 2 rounds in a row now. Certainly not doing well on the more standard bomb sites. Going back to bathroom tellers.
So the problem here is that a lot of the time, the reason you win on sites like bathroom tellers when you pick it first up out of the gate, which is as they did, and they did win on it, it's because the attackers aren't predicting it, whereas it's the obvious choice now for Mindfreak and Darkseid will be expecting that. They'll be talking right now about, okay, so where were the positions that they played in last time? Where were we expecting them, and how are we going to counter those positions? So they already have an advantage of having that extra practice on attacking this bomb site, because they attacked it 3 rounds ago.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not they still have a solid attack bomb site, particularly with how Mindfreak folded. But as you said, when we first saw this bomb site, it really comes down to the aggression from the defenders. They need to play aggressively. They need to be able to catch the attackers off guard, essentially, take the fight. Attackers. So as long as Mindfreak can continue to do that as they've been doing so well on this half, then I think they should be able to win the round.
When you pick a bomb site to defend such as tellers, you're expecting or you're hoping that the attacking side will spend the entire of the prep phase going, wait, so where are they? Wait, they're not upstairs. Okay, they're not downstairs. Wait, are they tellers? Okay, I guess they're tellers. So what are we going to do? And then they spend the start of the attack phase just calling out menial things, such as, is there a spawn peak? No, there's no spawn peak from over there. Okay, where's their setup? Where are they playing? Alright, there's a castle barricade. Are we taking top floor? Okay, yes, we're taking top floor. Where are we going to push? We're going to push. And that's that kind of clutter and that kind of disorganization and last minute to and fro and heavy communication that needs to happen between the attackers. That's what you want as a defender, because that puts the team into disarray. And now that Darkseid have already had an opportunity, look at how confident they are pushing on through.
Oh!
And it's netting style a kill so early into the round. So none of that chatter from the Darksided boys so early into the round. They're completely confident. They've bypassed that and graduated to the point of actually attacking the bomb site instead of faffing about.
Well, it's going to be a strong showing for Styles right now. Frag on the board. Bobbing a drone for days.
I assumed that was going to go through the skylight. What are you trying to do, cutie?
What are you trying to do?
Second kill goes the way of the attackers as well. So a hole was exploited by the attackers. They realized, all right, customs. Customs. Great area. We can take control of it fairly easily. And then we have these great avenues into the bomb site. Kings, though, does finally reply. That's bomb down as well, I should say. Diffusal kit. Down on the ground. Not sure if the defenders are aware, however, they won't be able to leverage that for their own success.
No, not yet anyway. Jack Daddy's going to get found on the
timing.
side. Just looked away at the wrong moment. Warden made him pay for that. Tied up 3-3 now.
Oh!
Warden gets himself a second as he drops Specker. Now with the man advantage, Warden gets himself a third here. Warden is going huge this round.
I told you he was the beast on the SMG-11, and now has 16 bullets remaining in total. Surely he can make the difference. It's just Cutie. It's only a 1 versus 2, so entirely doable. Breakaway point, as I mentioned earlier, one of these teams guaranteeing themselves a draw in this very round. Cutie will have to do a 1 versus 2 clutch to make that happen. And the two defenders playing passively in workshop.
Yeah, he's got
plenty of time to play with
left.
the intel going all the way for the defense. Cutie has to land both of these shots, and Warden once again a 4K with the SMG-11, guaranteeing himself and his team a draw here against Darksided at minimum, and at most taking round number 10 into a victory. Round number 12, I should say.
Yeah, that was a good round by Warden. Nice 4K for himself. He's going to be very happy with that. Nice to pad the stats for him. And we are going to go straight into custom inspection.
Well, I gotta say, credit over to Mindfreak for sticking with their guns. I was talking about how critical it was, the advantage that Darksided would have being predicting that bomb site, but looks like Mindfreak, despite that, do manage to steal ahead.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
yeah, as we are going to go back to customs. We did see a successful defensive last time by Mindfreak. History repeats itself, we're going to see there. Warden, the first person to reach double digits for the map.
And in what a fashion as well. Of course, this isn't the complete scoreboard. We did rehost a couple of rounds, but nonetheless, Warden really stepping it up. Credit to the man. Playing a smoke, no less. One of the best smoke players in the region, in my opinion. Just nails those shots with the SMG-11 every single time.
Yeah, really accurate with him. Really accurate with it. That was harder to get out than it should. So it's really interesting to see how he just nails those headshots time after time after time. It's just a thing to behold, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, top floor defense. While holding this downstairs area, looks like Warden, is he preparing? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, straight for the barbed wire. Alternatively, that's going to get Ash and Zofia. And
yeah, that's a great point. Okay, so Crescent checking out for King, so that he can in fact pick it back up if he wants to. He can get the distance, and he may well decide to do so. Over Specker doing what he does best, entering the building ahead of his team, droning himself in.
Yeah, so, ooh, Shaq and Wings getting a trade off there.
Well, something you see every day, but fair trade. A lot of utility gone for Capital, but on the other side of it, no utility gone for the Rook, really. Just a little bit of fragging potential. You can hear that C4. It's still alive. The attackers can hear it from the upper side. I'm very cautious about progressing forward over it. You can see Jack Daddy looking through the floor.
Oh.
Spots out the pulse below. I don't think Kings quite realizes. Jack Daddy may find good on this, but no. Not yet. Kings playing passively. Specker finding himself the kill as well. Defenders looking rough. This could be the point to tie up the game.
Yeah, they're slowly pushing their way in. Jack Daddy.
Attackers recovered the
Aggressive.
bomb diffuser.
Versus 4 at the moment. Jack Daddy's getting himself reset.
Oh no,
Gas
that's
Babe coming
gone.
out. Going to check him into a hospital, put him into the morgue. Warden takes out Jack Daddy with the Gas Babe. And that leaves us in a 3 versus 3.
Anyone's game so far in this round. Coming down to the wire with Darksided pushing their fraggers in through Workshop, hoping they can make the difference. Specker, I think he saw Warden, but Warden has such a good position from above. With the shotgun, he can open up these late rotates, late hatch drops. And then his style has to expose his position. He finds one kill, takes Kings' head clean off, but Warden wants it. Ippy style says no. All up to Crescent to close out this as a map win for Mindfreak. Otherwise, Darksided will tie it up. Just Crescent, the last man standing, and the 3 Darksided attackers peeking from the same angle. The MP7 is good, but is it good enough? And more importantly, can Crescent do the job? No, he can't. Darksided tie up. Map number 1, 6-6.
A 6-6 draw. That is devastating. That was so close. I really, that went really pear-shaped for, both teams.
Yeah, credit over to Ippy Style for finding those kills nice and close near the end of it. That really did make the difference that was needed. Finding those two quick kills to essentially get the teams, put his team in such an advantage. And a great job for Darksided to come back from that position. A bit of a rip for Mindfreak, who did think that they were going to get their first win on the board. Unfortunately, it won't happen on border. Perhaps Oregon they'll have more luck.
Yeah, well, it just... That was scrappy, wasn't it? Like, I think that's the best way to put it. That was scrappy by both teams the whole way through that map.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. Still, I'm surprised none of this heavy utility operators being brought out. It's almost like there's a gentleman's agreement between these teams. Hey, let's not bring those operators such as your Ying, your Blitz, etc. We're not so keen on those at all.
I was actually thinking that about 3 way through the map. About round 10. I haven't seen a Ying yet.
Yeah, I mean, of course, having the mon